Hello aspirants, I hope you all are doing well. So we are back to the new session and today I am going to cover topics relating to biodiversity, biological diversity, and in that context we'll also see a UPSC Red data book, threatened species, because every year you will get question based on threatened species there. So let us start with the topic here. Biological diversity. See, one is the definition part. Okay, what do you mean by the term biodiversity? So we can see in one common language, normal sense, we say flora and fauna, all types of plants and animals found in ecosystem. But I will give you a broader definition. If you look at biodiversity, we can define that is here diversity in all living organisms. It is not only plants and animals, not only flora and fauna, but also bacteria, fungi, algae, all living forms, all living organisms. So scientifically, an ecologist or a scientist study different forms of life and they try to study differences. Now when we say differences, diversity that exists at three levels. First is called genetic, at the gene level, genetic diversity. That means same species but individuals may differ from each other at the gene level, at the molecular level. Let's take an example. For example, Royal Bengal tiger found in India, Sundarbans Delta, Indian Sundarban and Bangladesh. Now Royal Bengal tiger is a tiger species, Panthera tigris. But Royal Bengal tiger has some genetic aspect which help in adapt in the mangrove forest of Sundarban or wherever we find Panna Tiger Reserve in MP, Sariska in Rajasthan or Bandipur in Karnataka, wherever we go across. So there the tigers, Indian tigers. But again we know that African tigers, tiger found in Africa, South Africa, Kenya, Namibia. Now they are tiger only, the species same, but they differ at gene level. Maybe their color is also the same, shape, size, little bit differences will be there. Let's take another example, Javan rhino, Java tiger found in Java and Sumatra. Siberian tiger found in Siberia in Russia. All these are tiger only, but they differ at genetic level. That's the first level of study in biodiversity. Then what comes here? Next one. Next, scientists can study between species. That means second type of diversity is species diversity. Species diversity. That means differences between species. Let's say when we say tiger, lion, leopard, cheetah, panther, all these are different forms of species in the same family, cat family. So let's say here, when scientists study difference between tiger, Panthera tigris with lion. Within lion there are different type of lions. African lion, Asiatic lion, Asiatic lion found in Gir forest. So that is within that is you have. That is genetic. But when you compare lion with leopard, lion with tiger, you are comparing two different species. So lion, tiger, leopard, cheetah, all belong to cat family. But when you say cheetah, within cheetah, genetic diversity is African cheetah, Asiatic cheetah. So that is genetic level, right? Same way, Next level of classification comes ecosystem diversity. Ecosystem diversity. Diversity or differences found at ecosystem level. That is when we compare forest with grassland, grassland with desert, we find differences of species found in forest compared to grassland, or species found in grasslands compared to desert. So here we are comparing at the broader level. Let's say forest versus grassland, right? So we are taking at a bigger scale. Although we are studying species only, but we are comparison between one habitat with another. So that is where comes the ecosystem diversity. So you can say diversity in the living world exists at three levels: at the molecular level, genetic level, at the species level, between the species, and then all species in one ecosystem with all species in another ecosystem. That is ecosystem diversity. Now this I am teaching first the theory part of it, right? So I will share the screen to everyone so that you can keep on writing all these points, and then later on we can take the doubts and all. So diversity in all living organism found anywhere in the world, right? That is where the biological diversity comes. Bio means living, diversity means variations, differences, diversity. That what comes, right? So now I'll go to the please keep on writing the points. I'll keep on using the whiteboard. I'll keep on explaining you the points and writing those key points on the notepad. So please make sure to copy down all these points there. Today's class is also very important. We will see many important aspects from the coming exam. So we'll go through them one by one. So remember that three type of diversity which I've just mentioned here, that is at the genetic level, at the species level, and at the part of ecosystem level. So we can represent by a triangle. That means a higher number of diversity will be genetic, differences at genetic level. Then comes here species, between different type of species we come across, and then finally comes ecosystem diversity, when we compare one ecosystem with another. This is how we can represent. So differences keep on increasing from smaller to bigger. This is what I have drawn the diagram here, right? This is what you have diversity as it goes from small to the big. Now let's look at another aspect: importance of biodiversity, threats to biodiversity, and the conservation. How the conservation is carried out: in situ conservation, ex situ conservation. So we'll now discuss those points, right? So I hope you are copying this. Shall I go to the next?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please keep on writing. Now these are the basic understanding. The simple topics are there. It will not be so much difficult here. So let's look at here. When we say biological diversity in the living world, I have given you definition, and I try to make you understand with few examples. But you can take more examples also. You can take more number of examples. Now let's look at this flow chart. First is the biodiversity values, or you can say significance or importance. Why we need to conserve, why we need to protect. flora and fauna, all other living organisms. So first thing is the, you all know, economic importance, economic value. Like for example, food, the bioresources, medicines, timber. So all this we get from living organisms. Most of the things today, let's say rice, wheat, vegetables, we get from different types of crops and the plants. Same way, even non-vegetarian food, poultry, bird, chicken, mutton, again we get from animals. Medicines, yeah, you know that Ayurveda, traditional medicine system, Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, they can come from different type of herbal plants, herbs. So again, it is from the nature, it is coming from biological resources. So that has a market value, economic use. Same way, ecosystem values. Ecosystem. There will be no ecosystem without biodiversity. I'll repeat, there will be no ecosystem without biodiversity. Because of plants, animals, bacteria, fungi, all living organisms that make the ecosystem, such as forest, river, lake, ocean. We have discussed in the previous session that ecosystem is of biotic and abiotic. Only abiotic, non-living will not make ecosystem, and only living organisms, biotic, will not make an ecosystem. So it requires combination of both. So ecosystem value, let's say for example, I am writing the certain example. Let's say control of soil erosion. Trees and plants, they protect the soil from erosion. Then cycling of carbon, sulfur, all those kind of nutrients, like bacteria, decomposer, break down organic matter, cycle the matter, right? Then climate moderation, moderating the climate, flood control, drought control, right? All these are ecological function, right? You are aware of that. Third comes here, a very important point, aesthetic and recreational. Aesthetic and recreational values. Aesthetic, saundarya, sundarta. Nature, we admire nature, we love nature, right? Recreation, manoranjan, right, which we get from safari, tiger safari, lion safari, sometimes boating in Bay of Bengal or sea and ocean. Again, that beauty aspect have psychological impact. When we go to mountaineering, we look at the mountains, we look at different type of trees, plants. Not only it help our physical health, but also give us psychological. That is called aesthetic and recreational values. For example, I'll give you example here, a very good example. This is safari. When we go to Tiger Reserve, Jim Corbett or Sundarban or any such park, safari there. Tourism, ecological tourism. Again, when we see tiger or any animal, again safari there. Then you know this one, I mentioned here, coral reef. People go for scuba diving. Scuba diving with expert scuba divers going inside the sea to see the coral reefs. Again, is a recreational manoranjan. That comes from that part of the beauty of the animals, plants. Right? Not only this one, even cinematography. Cinematography. Movies. Nowadays, the drone, unmanned aerial vehicle, UAV. Drones are used for taking photography, videography. And we are seeing in the movies or any web series or any kind of a TV channel, news channel, that they take aerial view. You come across certain animals, plants, that landscape. So that is another kind of a aesthetic and recreational values that link with that. Right? So that's what I'm writing, cinematography. I'll give a very good example. Oscar award winning Elephant Whisperers. Elephant Whisperer is a documentary, short documentary on elephant. Mudumalai tiger reserve. So when you watch that documentary, it has a recreational value. It recreational value. Literary work, short stories, poems, sometimes poems, short stories will be on animals, plants, nature. You all know Jungle Book. You know the Jungle Book, Mowgli. जंगल जंगल बात चली है, पता चला है, चड्डी पहन के फूल खिला है, फूल खिला है. Right from childhood, you have seen those cartoon animation. I'll give another example. Madagascar. Madagascar is an island in Indian Ocean near Africa. But there is a movie also, Madagascar. Then Mapusa, Simba, Lion King. I'm very sure you all have seen those kind of animated movies. Again, that is a recreational coming from animals. Poems. There's a poem on tiger. Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forest of night. What immortal hand or eye could frame thy symmetry? William Black. William Wordsworth. Daffodil. Daffodil flower. Kalidas. Meghdutam. Sanskrit poem there. Rabindranath Tagore. Gurudev. His stories, his writings have captured the nature. Now any one of you can tell me from Tagore, right, Thakurji, Rabindranath Tagore, can you remember any Bengali song, poem, story which is based on biodiversity part? Anyone in the classroom? Chile or May, school level, right, Bangla. Tell me anyone from the class, or any writer, Bengali.
Yes, sir.
Bengali.
Sir, there is a short Bengali story which we read in ICSE board, that is Balai.
Good.
It was related to a tree.
Correct.
Life of a tree.
Good. Very good.
And Kaviguru Rabindranath Tagore.
Very good. Now tell me the spelling. I'll show in the web page here. Yes. What was the name of the poem? Yes.
B-A
B-A
L-A-I
L-A-I.
Rabindranath Tagore. Then you write
Only Balai. Only Balai or complete.
Only Balai, sir.
Okay. Poem. I'm writing here. Poem. Bangla.
This is a short story, sir.
Okay. Short stories. Short stories. Let's say short story. Rabindranath Tagore.
Yes.
Gitanjali, Gitanjali, for which he got Nobel Prize, right? Gitanjali has a part of it. See here, the boy and the tree, Balai, right? See here, by Rabindranath Tagore story in English. Now look at here, far ahead of the Chipko movement. You know Chipko movement in Uttarakhand, Sundarlal Bahuguna, where the women they hug the trees. That is called Chipko movement. Now from before that, see here, Tagore had written about conservation of plants and intimate connection between man and nature. Bolai, the boy and the tree. Bolai is a gentle, imaginative child who feels one with nature. He develops an attachment to a plant and does not let his uncle exit down. Chipko was also like that. Chipko movement was also like that. Not letting plant to die, but in his absence, their uncle deed gets done, and his childless aunt takes long to forgive her husband for it. But his uncle, when the child is not, the uncle cut the tree, cut the plant, and the aunt is very angry over uncle. Why you did this? Right? This is the poem here. Sorry, short story. Bengali literature is very rich. Bangla Katha, Kahani, stories, poems. Bengali literature, Bangla literature is very rich. Very, very rich. Satyendranath Tagore, Rabindranath Tagore, Vidyasagar, there's so many writers, and they have written a lot of novels, stories, poems. You know, Satyajit Ray. Unfortunately, people of India have forgotten such great directors. क्या मूवी सत्यजीत रे का क्या मूवी है, जबरदस्त. अभी आजकल क्या है, मसाला. आजकल क्या है, मसाला. आजकल मसाला का साइन हो गया. गान will be there, some nritya dance will be there, right? People are very happy. Story, katha and kahani, story, that makes a thing. So the Jungle Book, right? That is a very good story on animals. Sher Khan, tiger. Ballu, the black bear. Bagheera. Who is Bagheera? Black Panther. All those animals, right? Whatever you see in that movie based on the book, they all have been inspired from Pench. There is a place called Pench, Pench. Where is Pench? The two Pench. One is MP, Madhya Pradesh. Second is Maharashtra. MP Pench. There it comes. But Tagore's poem, when you read a story, poem, anything, you have a depiction of animals, plants. That is what called aesthetic, recreational values. I have said daffodil story. See here, daffodil, you have read in school days. That is a William Wordsworth. Even you would have memorized the stanza of the poem. This one here. I wandered lonely as a cloud. This is the poem. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over wells and hills. Right? When all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. Right? Beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. On daffodil flower, continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle in the Milky Way, right? They stretch in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in a springly dance. such vivid description of daffodil. Daffodil is part of biodiversity, right? So any literature, English, Bengali, Hindi, Urdu, even Urdu also, Arabic, Tamil, Telugu, Gujarati, Marathi, you take any language, there are writers, authors, poets, they have written about it. Worldwide, whichever literature you take. Biodiversity is heritage of mankind. बायोडाइवर्सिटी मानव के लिए धरोहर है, विरासत है. Is a we have got from past, no? We have inherited from the past. That's called aesthetic. So that's what I've tried to write the point here, aesthetic point. Again, I'll share the page here. Then you can see here. I'll now come to the next point. Point number 4. Point number 4. Spiritual. Yesterday I mentioned that religious, cultural and traditional values. I'll give you a beautiful example which you all know that. Spirituality, religious and traditional values, right? Let me give example. Sacred forest, sacred groves, sacred forest, pavitra vana. Okay, now among you, do you know Jhargram?
Yes, sir.
Jhargram, have you been to Jhargram? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
क्या चीज़ के लिए फेमस है? Why it is very popular?
So before it was famous for Naxalism.
Correct.
Now it's famous for its biodiversity and the Rajbari, sir, and
Good, very good.
and there is a lake and a mandir, Kali Mata ka mandir. which
Very
is
good.
Very chapter.
Durga,
Yes.
Durga Mata, Durga Ma,
Yes, sir.
Kanak Durga, Kanak Durga,
Yes, sir. Correct.
Jhargram. There is a sacred forest. Sacred forest means house of God, gods and goddesses. West Bengal government has declared for there is something called BHS, Biodiversity Heritage Site. Let me take you to that. Kanak Durga, Jhargram. This is the one. Kanak Durga guest house, all you have. You have temple also there. What is it? Chilki Gad. It's also called Chilki Gad Durga Temple. Chilki Gad. See here. This is the official page. Jhargram. Kanak Durga Temple. King Gopinath has built the temple which is estimated to be more than 500 years old. The king dreamt of the idol of goddess Kanak Durga and he built the temple of the goddess. Kanak, what is Kanak means? Gold. Gold. Sona. That's what comes there. So, Kanak Durga and he built the temple of goddess. As the name suggests, Kanak, the idol is completely made of gold. Completely made of gold. And is 2 feet in height. It believed that human sacrifice. See here. Human sacrifice. बलि इंसानों की बलि दी जाती थी. Human sacrifice formed a vital ritual during the times of the royal king के टाइम में. Until and unless the sacrificial blood reached the Dulung river, the ritual continued. Imagine such a horrified गोरी. तब तक नरसंहार, तब तक लोगों को बलि देता था जब तक दुलंग नदी में खून नहीं पहुंच जाए. Imagine. That is the thing there. See here, Kanak Durga temple gives a thrilling experience of natural beauty. 14 kilometers away from Jhargram town, 100 साल से पुराना मंदिर है ये. Now located in the forest. I'll underline this one. This temple located in a forest beside a small charming river named Dulung. Dulung there. Rare species of trees, birds, monkeys. Right? Kendua. On the way of, you will find a spot called Kendua. Migratory birds. It comes in winter. Religious, dharmic, based on religion. I can give you so many examples. Right? Grove or forest is an ecosystem, but there is part. I'll give you another example. आप सब लोगों ने देखा है या नहीं देखा है? कितने लोगों ने इसको देखा है? हाँ या ना बोलना है. देखिए अच्छी, देयर इज OTT प्लेटफॉर्म. कांतारा मूवी कन्नड़ा की अच्छे. मूवी इज बेस्ड ऑन व्हाट इज देयर इन दिस मूवी? यस, टेल मी. हाँ, there is again a forest, and you know that what is called that? Bhootkola is from where? Karnataka. Bhootkola. See here, this Bhootkola. Bhutakola. That's a part of Kandara, right? It's there in the movie. You'll find is there the Bhutakola. This one, Rohit Shetty movie, not Rohit Shetty. This Rishabh Shetty. Rishabh Shetty's movie, the Bhutakola. But I'll just take this one. कितने लोगों ने देखा ये मूवी को? इसमें क्या एक है वहाँ पर? What is there? कौन बोलेगा? Who will tell me? इसमें 2-3 चीजें हैं. You'll find 2 or 3 things based on that. Right? This is where you have there. Can you read this? Varaha Rupam. Which god? Lord Vishnu. And can you see here? This movie is a recreational. मैंने बोला मनोरंजन. But it talks about the forest. Right? It talks about deity, God. Right? It talks about Varaha. The Bhootkola and what you saw in this part. I've just played the trailer of that. I think many of you would have watched this movie. Right? ये जो है, there that spirit, the spirit of the God in the human body, and ask, right? That's what the movie shows. This movie also shows one more important event. Who will tell me? In the beginning, you have seen something is there. Which one? What is this movie depicted? Again, is a very important from state of Karnataka. Who will tell me? Who is going to tell me? इसमें एक और चीज दिखाया गया. No, that is all right. That's right. But there is something shown in the mud. A race. Have you seen that race? It's not a Jallikattu. Jallikattu is in Tamil Nadu. That's near to Madurai. But it's similar to Jallikattu. See, Jallikattu is a bullfight. Here, what you see, I'll take you to that part. You will see this one. This. Very good. This one is called Kambada. It's pronounced as Kambada. but spelling is Kambala, Kambala, but in Kannada it is pronounced as Kambada, Kambada. That mud water where this bull and the man run with the bull. See, in this movie is inspired from real events. Just few years back, there was Rudra Gowda. Gowda is a community from Karnataka. Rudra Gowda, he broke the record of Usain Bolt. You know Usain Bolt? He's a runner, Usain Bolt. By Kambada. He made that. My point is simply here, when I'm coming to this part, I just want to make you understand that biodiversity, tree, plant, animal have got cultural link, religious link. Like, you know, people tree. Now tell me, Lord Buddha, Gautam Buddha, he got enlightenment. So what is the name of tree under which he got the enlightenment? Lord Buddha. Bodhi tree is a people, banyan, neem, sal. Which type of tree is that? You're right. There's a Mahabodhi tree that's in Bodh Gaya in Bihar. What is that tree species?
It's a people tree.
Is a people tree. Right? You know that Hindu girls and women, particularly married women, they worship what? What Savitri. You know what is what Savitri? So any of the lady here, what is what Savitri? Women of the class, what is what Savitri? क्या है what Savitri? की अच्छे, what Savitri की अच्छे? No girl from the class want to say what is what Savitri? Nobody want to say? Swagata madam. What is?
I don't know.
Oh my God! What Savitri? Pakka, you don't know? Okay. Any other lady of this class can tell me what Savitri? What is what? What is what? Which tree? What? Swagata? Which? Banyan. Very good. Savitri, that is a story of Yamaraj. You know Dharmaraj, Yama, Lord Yama, and Savitri. So Yama takes away the Atma, soul of Savitri's husband. Right? So Savitri plead to Yama, return back that soul of her husband. So that is where Yama says that what? That banyan tree. So Hindu women, they worship what Savitri for well-being of their husbands. है ना? अच्छा ठीक बताओ, बंगाली औरतें जो है कौन कौन सा ऐसा पूजा करती है? कोई ट्री और प्लांट? Tree, plant are all part of biodiversity.
So Tulsi.
Tulsi, you know, you'll find that. Tulsi is one of the part. Tulsi mere aangan ki. Right? So this all, see, I am giving as example, but again, yes, those who are not Hindus here, please don't think that I am only talking about Hinduism. No. Every religion, हर धर्म में ऐसा नहीं समझना है कि I am only talking about Hinduism there. Buddhism, Sikhism, last class I have talked about wetland, even Islam also, Islamic religion also there, उसमें भी है, Christianity में भी है ना, Zoroastrianism. अब मैं आपको बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट बताता हूँ. पारसी, you know पारसी, Zoroastrianism. Parsis, they protect vultures. किसी को पता है? Parsis, they protect vultures. We go to Mumbai, there is something called there. कोई बता सकता है कौन सा जगह है? उनका रिचुअल है पारसियों का. कोई बताओ कौन सा है? क्या बोलते हैं ऐसी जगह को? क्या करते हैं पारसी? Yes, it's called Tower of Silence. क्या कहते हैं? Tower of silence, dead human body, dead bodies, dead human bodies fed to vultures. See this. I don't know how many of you are aware of this. Tower of silence. They give it to vultures to eat. Vultures are scavengers. See here. Towers of silence, much debated issues among Parsi community, managed by Anjumans. Now you see, do Parsi still use there? What is the tower of silence Parsi religion? Parsi funerary tower erected on a hill for the disposal of dead, according to Zoroastrian rite. Vultures, they feed on that dead human body. Funeral जो होता है, they don't burn the body, they don't cremate their body. Vultures eat the human body, dead bodies. Again religious, conservation of vulture. अभी क्या हो रहा है मुंबई में, क्योंकि vulture कम हो चुका है, with declining number of vultures, so now this ritual practice of Parsis that is getting affected. In this context, matter went to the Bombay High Court also. It becomes very challenging there. Right to freedom and then again in terms of protection of environment and biodiversity. Right? So I have given you here, all these are there. Right? All this comes into that. Knowledge, ethics, science, economy, ecological, aesthetic, recreation, cultural, all this comes to that. Now I am coming to second one, threats. Threats to biodiversity, loss of biodiversity. What are the reasons by which biodiversity being threatened? So first thing comes habitat loss. Habitat loss, most important threat. If living place is lost due to mining, deforestation, hydropower project, infrastructure development, then that particular species will become extinct. So that can be because of mining project, right? Or deforestation, infrastructure development. It can be any such project that can cause loss of habitat. Second is here, invasive alien species. UPSC has asked question about Prosopis juliflora. Is an invasive plant. I'll give you example. For example, lantana, then Prosopis. You know water hyacinth. Hyacinth is aquatic weed. Even birds also there, like a pigeon, house pigeon. Even fish, you know, catfish, mangur, tilapia, right? Even I will give you example from outside India. Many times these are, you'll come in current affairs, invasive species which migrate, which come from outside. Sometimes human introduce those species, right? They multiply very fast and pose threat to the native species, native varieties. Like mangur, catfish, they grow very fast in lake, pond, rivers. Rohu, katla or native species, they get affected. Lantana is a weed. Himachal Pradesh and all, they are getting affected. Prosopis juliflora, Simai Karuvelam, Tamil Nadu. Madras High Court asked the government of Tamil Nadu to take action. On and often in newspaper, current affairs will come across invasive species, right? Burmese python. A python from Myanmar was introduced to Arizona. Arizona is a state in USA. Florida. Why this python was brought from Myanmar to Florida? So that in that forest, small animals which multiply very fast, this python will eat as a food. But what happened? This Burmese python in Arizona became invasive. They multiplied very, very fast. Not only small animals, they started eating the larger, bigger animals. There's a tribe in India called Irula tribe. What do you know about Irula tribe? Who will tell me? Deep Jyoti. What do you know about Irula tribe? Irula tribe.
No sir, idea sir. I haven't heard the name before.
Okay. Are you going to appear this year exam?
Yes sir.
Do you read newspapers?
Sir, for the last 2 weeks I haven't followed.
No, 2 weeks no, but I'm talking entire 1 year.
Sir, most of them I have followed.
Which newspaper you read?
It's the Hindu.
Okay. Then you must. Do you watch movies?
No sir. Sir, for the last 1 year I haven't seen much of movies. I used to see.
Who is this another guy who used to watch movies? Okay. Any other person? Irula tribe is a tribe in the Western Ghats. They know to catch snakes, snake catchers. Why I asked a movie? There is a movie on this, and why I asked you the newspaper, and you said Hindu, 1 year. I'm sad to say, you are not properly reading newspapers. Recently, Hindu paper has covered about Irula tribe. So, my dear students, if you don't read current affairs properly, regularly, you will be in a big loss. Prelims exam, UPSC exam is a very difficult exam. Is the mother of all exams. Yes, Dipti Jha. Is there Dipti? Dipti madam is there?
Yes, sir.
Any idea, madam?
Sir, I know that there are a community of snake charmers.
Good.
And
Very,
the movie that
very
was
good.
made on them was called Jai Bhim.
Excellent. देखो इसको कहते हैं good, very good. See, watching movies or OTT is not bad. What I'm saying, see, preparation of UPSC doesn't mean 10 hours or 20 hours of study. No. UPSC don't want bookish people. UPSC को किताबी कीड़ा लोग नहीं चाहिए. They are looking for those aspirants who are all-rounders. They have the knowledge base, they have studied, they have broad thought, open mind. अब ये नहीं कि मूवी देख के चक्कर में खाली मूवी देख रहे हैं, खाली सोशल मीडिया में. That is bad. That is bad. Madam has given a very important name, Jai Bhim. There is a famous Tamil Nadu actor, Surya. He plays the role of a very important judge of that is called Justice Chandru, retired judge Chandru. Is based on the life of Justice Chandru when he was a practicing advocate in Madras High Court in Tamil Nadu. Irula man, the snake charmers, snake catchers. That is this movie is based on social discrimination. You know social discrimination? Where we discriminate people from some community. Social discrimination where 3 Irula men were arrested by policemen. They were tortured and killed. What is something called atrocities, police atrocities. human rights violation. You know, Manav Adhikar, human rights violation, killing in prison, killing in captivity. That is the movie. But why I have mentioned that reference? Because Irula men, they know how to catch snakes, and they have a cooperative society by which they catch king cobra, kala nag, the venom which used in pharma industry for anti-venom drug. Now why I am giving this one, I don't know how many people know that. I'll ask Dipti. Dipti, you know something about this Irula man with Burmese python? Burmese
No,
python?
sir, not much.
Okay. How many of you read normal general knowledge GK from magazine and all, books and all about Padma Award? Padma Shri,
Sir,
Padma
I have
Bhushan.
read, I do know that recently some people were awarded who were, I think, they were catching these snakes,
Good.
basically
That-
helping them from not being killed.
Now I'll tell you that. You're
I
right.
think the person was from Karnataka.
I'll come to that one. Right. Two Irula men. See where? What is the story here? Burmese python was introduced to Arizona to control small animals, but Burmese python became invasive. So the government of Arizona, they came to know Irula tribe of India, and they recruited two Irula men, Irula tribe men, who were experts in snake catching. And both these two Irula men are right now in the USA, and they're catching Burmese python. And those two Irula tribe men have been awarded this year Padma Shri. I'll give their name: Masi Valdivan, Gopal Valdivan and Masi Sadian. Gopal Valdivan and Masi Sadian. Gopal and Masi. They got the Padma Award. Look at here. So first, Irula tribe. See, this is what UPSC is all about. This is how the UPSC will connect the dots and ask you the question. UPSC is not going to ask you theory, values of biodiversity or threats to biodiversity. UPSC will connect with the current affairs. With the current affairs dynamic part and ask the question. Look at here, this Irula men. You'll find here. They are indigenous tribe, Irula, you'll find here. People group this, they are there. They have a cooperative society also there. They have a cooperatives society where they catch snake, collect the venom and return back the snake back to the wild. Now look at here this. This is one you find here. Irula Snake Catchers Industrial Cooperative Society. Now you can see here this one. This is what is said here. That is the Snake Catchers Industrial Cooperative Society. So they catch the snake here. For venom, they get paid by the pharma industry. And this return back there. The snakes here. Then you can see here further. I'll now come to this one. I've said Irula tribe men who got the Padma Shri. Irula tribe men. I'll write the name also. Masi Gopal. Another name is Gopal. Padma Shri. Padma Shri award. This year only they have been awarded there. They have been awarded this year only by the government of India. Look at here. TN, Tamil Nadu Snake Catchers, Vadival Gopal, Masi Sadian get Padma Shri. Now gives expert snake catchers from Irula tribe in Tamil Nadu, right? Padma Shri, country's 4th highest civilian award on the occasion of Republic Day 2023. And these are the two people who are catching Burmese python in where? USA, Arizona. This is the name of the people. See the photograph. For their work in USA, catching this Burmese python, which is a invasive species, this year central government recognized them with Padma Shri. ये है यूपीएससी. क्या पता this year exam, suppose that this year prelims exam, if UPSC asks question there about invasive species, or let's say suppose that UPSC asks question about Burmese python. So if you don't know all this, you will not be able to solve the question. You will not be able to solve this question. UPSC will not ask you Padma Shri, या Padma Bhushan or all those kind of thing there. But UPSC will connect with syllabus. Here the GS part. Might be possible. And this is, see, these two people are there in the USA for last so many years. They've been catching those kind of snakes and all. This year they got recognized. Now tell me, I'm just asking all of you, you are reading popular current affair materials? मैं नाम नहीं लूँगा. I don't want to take the name because that is an online recorded thing. I don't want to take the name of any coaching institute or any material. But you understand where I'm indicating there. Go back and see whether such things have been covered. ज़्यादातर लोग क्या करते हैं ना, बहुत लोग कहते हैं ये पढ़ लो, वो पढ़ लो. Toppers are the biggest liars. Don't go by the toppers saying and all this. Go by your own judgment. If anybody is reading newspaper regularly, Hindu paper has covered irregular tribe and discrimination against them. Same thing, you will find the articles there. But I have connected with invasive species here. Now this way you will not forget. See, this way you are not going to forget. You will not be forgetting that. Right, you will see here. Global snake experts. Right, their forefathers and all. They are catching there in USA. This way you will remember it. See, current affairs when you are reading, you have to read in this kind of way. Then it will help you out. Right? Now let's look at another one. Another threat you all know, climate change. Global warming and climate change. Yesterday I mentioned about coral bleaching. Great Barrier Reef, which is the biggest marine biosphere reserve, which is the biggest coral reef in the world, Barrier Reef in Australia, is under threat. And I have said that coral reefs are rainforests of sea and ocean. So climate change here, like let's say for example, melting of polar ice. So polar bear, penguin, they will become extinct. Then you know, wildfire, forest fire, wildfire, California wildfire, bush fire. यूरोप में हीट वेव हो रहा है. यूरोप is a temperate country, cold countries. They are facing heat waves, जो कि वहाँ नहीं होता है because global warming. And then the forest fire. When there is a fire in the forest, definitely the wildlife will get affected. Species will be lost. Birds, mammals, reptiles. Again, there is impact of climate change. Sea level rise, SLR, flooding, loss, coral bleaching, ocean warming and acidification. Again the loss. Third, it is said that Earth has undergone 5 times mass extinction. 6th is awaited. If temperature of the Earth goes more than 2 degrees Celsius, then tipping point, cross the tipping point, catastrophe. There are major catastrophes. And many of the species will be wiped out. Right? Now tell me, something was there in the news yesterday. हिंदू पेपर, इंडियन एक्सप्रेस, कौन बताएगा? कल कुछ न्यूज में था, कल कुछ न्यूज में था.
The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change report.
Very good, very good. Both the papers have covered the report from the UN panel, IPCC, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, which is saying that limiting temperature of Earth at 1.5 degrees Celsius based on pre-industrial level, pre-industrial revolution, which happened in Europe and industrialized countries 100 to 200 years back, pre-industrial level, that temperature, from there 1.5, from there plus 1.5, we will not be able to stop. COP21 Paris Summit, France 2015, government decided to keep at 1.5 the global temperature, average temperature of Earth's surface at 1.5. But now the panel report saying it will be difficult. Emission, greenhouse gas, carbon emissions, and impact will be there, climate change impact, what I have written on the notepad, right? Then you see here, not only this one, what I said here, sea level rise, coastal flooding, then island which will get submerged, Maldives, Lakshadweep, again the impact, that is a threat. Then pollution, environmental pollution, air, water, land, river pollution, wetland pollution, again direct impact on the species. Then that this one, over exploitation for food, for biological resources, the way we are over exploiting the resources there, hunting, poaching, again that is threat, right? So given the important threat, now comes here conservation. Now comes the conservation, biodiversity conservation. Biodiversity conservation is done by two ways, in situ, ex situ. Now first one, what we call in situ conservation. In situ conservation means within the natural habitat. We don't take animals and plants outside. Within habitat, we try to conserve them. Like that national park, wildlife sanctuary, biosphere reserve, right? All these are in situ. Government declared national park, NP. Government declares sanctuaries, wildlife sanctuaries, bird sanctuary, marine sanctuary. Then UNESCO managed biosphere program, what we call biosphere reserve, right? Again in India we have 18 biosphere reserve, tiger reserve, elephant reserve, all these are in situ. And the law, Wildlife Protection Act, WPA 1972. Then that second comes ex situ, outside natural habitat, when we are not able to conserve any species of plant and animal within the natural habitat, then we carry out outside the habitat. You all know that. Example, for example, for plant we have botanical garden. In India, there are so many botanical gardens are there. Then Chidiyaghar, zoo, zoological parks. Then for animals, we also have a captive breeding center. We breed them in captivity. I had given you one example, that is a vulture breeding center in Pinjore. Then that seed bank, we conserve the seed under low temperature, cryopreservation, very low temperature. Then gene bank, DNA and gene of animals can be conserved in gene bank, DNA bank, gene bank, so that in future if we require we can do the biotechnology. With the help of biotechnology and the gene, we can do the cloning of animals, revive them back. I'll give you certain examples here. First I'm writing all the points here, key points here, but I'll give you more example on that. I'll be giving you more examples on that. But now if you see here, seed bank, world's biggest seed bank. Anyone in the classroom? Where is world's biggest seed bank? Under low temperature, seeds are conserved. In a given flow chart, I have given some main points. Any environment book which you read, all these points will be there. UPSC will ask anything connected with all this from current perspective. Yes, boys and girls, which is the biggest seed bank of the world? Norway, good. Siddharth, can you unmute yourself? Siddharth Mondal, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, sir.
Where in Norway? You're right.
Sir,
No.
actually, I don't remember the name because it's complicated, sir.
Okay, good.
I only know it in Norway.
All right. Thank you. Any other person? Any other person? Soumya?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Soumya. Where?
Svalbard Global Seed Board, I think. It's
Excellent.
In Norway.
Excellent.
The permafrost area, and it's I think it's near the Arctic Circle.
Excellent, excellent.
And
Well
it
done.
is the world's largest seed storage.
Yes.
Actually, and which is opened by in 2008, I think.
Good,
by
very good.
Norwegian government.
Good, very good, very good. Excellent. That's the biggest one. It's called Doomsday. Doomsday.
Yes.
There's a Svalbard. I'll take you to the home page of that. Svalbard Seed Bank, Seed Vault. Even India has given the seeds. This is the one. It says very correct, Arctic Circle, and there it has been preserved by the Norwegian government. Svalbard is an island. Svalbard is an island very near to North Pole, 90° north, near North Pole. But you see this image here, safeguarding the seeds for the future. This is what you have. All the seeds, you can see that. They have been kept there. Is within the permafrost, says very right. See here, how many are there? 11,94,944 seed samples, 93 seed gene banks, 5,974 species. And you can see here, mung bean, rajma. Now this is how it looks like, the facility, right? And she is very right, 2009 at that time, this was done there. Under the ice, the seed bank has been built. So when there will be catastrophe, end of civilization, then this seed bank, all the seeds will help humans again restart agriculture, crops and all, and we can again very fast return back to normal situation. ये है seed bank. What do you see here? Cool to -18 degree Celsius. Cryopreservation. Right? So this is where you have the part of it. So you will find here, this is a Svalbard seed bank. You can see here, this is the one here. Agoda. So video will come after ad. So now you can see this. I will disappear.
1,300 kilometers north of the Arctic Circle, hidden deep inside a frigid mountain, is a biological Noah's Ark. Svalbard is a place unlike any other. Hidden deep inside a frigid mountain is a biological Noah's Ark. Svalbard is a place unlike any other. Explorers from around the world come to the archipelago for rare wildlife, the winter northern lights, and the summer midnight sun. But what most visitors to Svalbard don't realize is that secure, safe, and unseen within this magical landscape is a treasure trove crucial to the survival of the planet. Earth's Seed Bank. Near to Longyearbyen, the most northern town in the world, lies Klatøberget Mountain. Locked away in cold, dry vaults lie over 1 million dormant seed samples of crops and trees from all around the world. Able to store up to 4.5 million varieties, this is the world's largest secure seed storage facility, ready and waiting in the event of an apocalyptic emergency to protect and restore biodiversity and future life on our planet. There's only been one incident so far where the doomsday seeds were called upon. After an attack on Aleppo in 2015 during the Syrian civil war, the entire seed collection at the International Center for Agricultural Research in the dry areas was destroyed. The collection consisted of 148,000 seeds. Thankfully, 80% of those lost have been duplicated and sent to the vault in Svalbard. They were retrieved and are now regrowing in the region, thriving once again. A fitting reminder of why the vault is so important. So why Svalbard? They were retrieved and are now regrowing in the region, thriving once again. A fitting reminder of why the vault is so important. So why archipelago's remoteness makes the vault less vulnerable to human interference? And the nearby airport and town of Longyearbyen provide enough infrastructure to receive new seed shipments and to support a vital team of maintenance engineers and scientists. So that the seeds are properly preserved, the vaults are kept at a constant temperature of minus 18 degrees Celsius and must have low humidity. Svalbard has a natural permafrost, which means even in the case of a power outage, the vault will stay cold and dry enough to keep the seeds frozen. However, in 2017, due to climate change, melting permafrost seeped into the vault itself. Thankfully, none of the samples were damaged, and since then, the facility was upgraded to no longer rely just on the permafrost alone to keep the seeds cold. Despite this incident, Svalbard is still considered one of the safest places in the world for long-term storage of the seeds. This isn't the world's only secure deposit. Every country owns their own seeds, but if a global crisis were to arise, the Svalbard seeds would be available to everyone. When going on an expedition cruise with us to Svalbard, you're unlikely to gain access to this preciously guarded place, but the locals are more than happy to share stories and insights that you can share and retell back home, spreading the word and sowing seeds of awareness about our planet's long-term welfare.
Right? So what you have seen now, that is a Svalbard. That is a Svalbard. Right? 2017, because of climate change, melting of the ice, it got flooded, but fortunately there was not much damage to this particular seed bank. Now my question to the class, do we have such kind of seed bank in India? This is global, worldwide. Do we have in India?
Yes, sir.
Where?
Sir, it's Changla.
Very good. Excellent. Changla seed bank, that is Ladakh. Ladakh is maintained by DRDO. DRDO maintained this bank. That is there's a pass in Himalayan pass, Changla, then Ladakh, Leh Ladakh, and it's the world's second biggest. It's the world's second biggest. India's doomsday. Right? India's doomsday. See what is given here? Freezing future inside Changla, India's doomsday vault in Himalayas. Right? That is what we have. This is a Svalbard. What you see the photograph. Now you can see 17,300 feet above sea level in Ladakh. That is India's seed vault. So we too have, and this is second biggest in the world. After Svalbard, Changla comes. XC2, what is called? XC2. Now DNA bank, when you come to DNA bank, gene bank, we have a gene bank in India. There is IBRI, that is a gene bank. Animal DNA bank, animal DNA bank, that is a Uttar Pradesh, UP, Bareilly. DNA bank for wild animals. Bareilly scientists hope it will keep poaching in check. Even for animals, we have a gene bank in India. Indian Veterinary Research Institute, IVRI campus, there we have. And you can see here this one. Right?
Sir, is there any particular reason why the seedlings are mostly located in lower temperatures like in North and Ladakh?
Because it will not germinate. Seed will not germinate. Seed will remain dormant. For that reason, you require low temperature. And Norway, North Pole, Svalbard, because naturally the temperature is very low, is in minus. Same way Ladakh, 17,000 feet there, naturally the temperature is minus. So we don't have to spend money in terms of freezing the temperature. Suppose we build a seed bank in Kolkata. Kolkata is warm and humid. So you require in that facility lot of refrigerators, which will consume lot of electricity, and we have to spend crores of rupees. And there, where is Ladakh, naturally the temperature is very low, is already sub-zero, minus 20, minus 25 degrees Celsius. So we don't have to spend electricity in maintaining low temperature. Simple logic. It's very simple logic. Why you require low temperature? Seeds will not germinate. It will remain dormant for hundreds of years. We can keep it there. Another is what is it? Cost advantage. The natural temperature is very low. Is it not so? Yes, my dear boy.
Yeah.
This is the thing, no? Simple logic there. That's what it comes into that. So I have given here. So even we are having no, in the worldwide. See, recently there was a news about a crab in the Hindu paper. Who will tell me what was the news about a special type of
Sir, horseshoe crab.
horseshoe crab? Correct. What was the news? They are getting threatened. The number declining there. Now, I'll give you one very important research project. It's a global project, international project. Restore and revive. Restore and revive. See, even science and technology comes into environment. The technological part, restore and revive and restore. See what is given here? Bringing biotechnologies to conservation. Conservation biotechnology. Conserving species by using biotechnology. I told you cloning. We can clone animal, identical copies. We can create threatened species clones by biotechnology method of cloning. Right, what I said here, that here you will find how biotechnology can be used for conservation. So cloning, I have given the example, the macaque in China. Now if you look at here, this one, see here, kelp forest, bird conservation, see here, black footed ferret. Then you can see here another one. I'll just take you to the species here. See here, if you see this one, not this one, this are species which are being conserved. Let me take you to that one. Look at here this. First cloned black-footed ferret. They've used cloning method. December 10, 2020. A cloned black-footed ferret was born in the US. It's an endangered species. And the name of this ferret is Elizabeth N. Sometimes, UPSC asks direct question, factual question. Suppose that UPSC asks question, Elizabeth N seen in news is A, B, C, D. And given here, threatened species, right? Queen of something, then something. That's the name of this animal, cloned animal, right? Successfully been cloned. Genetic diversity, right? Now if you see here, you find not only this one. I'll tell you all about the species here. Even horseshoe crab. See this black-footed ferret, that is about the project here. But horseshoe crab, I'll just go to this one. Horseshoe crab, even they are trying to revive them, increase their numbers. They're doing that, right? They are trying to increase on that. I'll just like even the extinct species also there. They're trying to increase the number of species which have, even they are going to bring species which have become extinct, right? For bird conservation, see all these birds, right, which has been lost, they can be brought back, right? Even the mammals, mammoth is going to come back. They are going to use stem cell, bring them back. Even the mammoth, right? Even the mammoth is going to come back. They are going to restore the mammoth from ice age. They are going to work on that. So we'll see that what we do. If you see here, you'll find here conserving, advancing, funding, right? Even see the 10,000 years old when mammoth was there. They're going to bring mammoth back. Harvard University that's working on reviving the mammoth. For revival of mammoth, they're working on that. Even for horseshoe crab, there's a project on that. This all will not be in current affairs materials, I'll tell you. Current affairs materials only cover what is there in the newspaper. PIB, Yojana, Kurukshetra, right? They will not be going to just such kind of information. And questions are set by experts who are expert of the subject matter. So that's what I'm trying to help you out. How the technology can be a tool in conserving biodiversity. I'm just giving example. So there is a project woolly mammoth. There is a project woolly mammoth which has been now under consideration. Already scientists are working on this woolly mammoth. Project woolly mammoth. Harvard University, they're working on this. So they will use a very important tool of biotechnology called CRISPR-Cas9. CRISPR-Cas9 is a gene editing tool. They'll use the gene editing tool CRISPR-Cas9. They will build the cell which will be have a combination of elephant, Asian elephant, the elephant what we have in India, Asian elephant, with genes and DNA of dead mammoth. And then they will do the cloning with Asian elephants to give birth to mammoth. And they will be taken to tundra. Tundra is a permafrost, Arctic. That is the same as ice age, and they will be habited there. Again, this is a conservation. This is again a conservation here. See here, there are scientists who are doing there. Passenger pigeon, they are going to revive. They are part of it, right? So they are going to have all such species. Now you see here, great passenger pigeon, black-footed ferret, last wild horse, right? They're going to bring back there. This is what this international project is all about, right? I'll get back to that here, what I mentioned that. So these are only the theoretical part which I've written on the notepad, but you have to connect with current affairs, right? Now what I'll do, I'll go to threatened species, a very important topic from exam point of view. Let me go to that one. So threatened species. Right, now how to tackle questions on this topic. Now threatened species here, so you know that IUCN, Red Data Book. Red Data Book. And you know that in Red Data Book, there are total 9 categories are there. Out of 9 categories, 3 are really very important: critically endangered, endangered, vulnerable. But I'll give you all the names here. If you take 9 categories, these are the names. First is come least concerned, where in long term there will be threat. Then comes the near threatened, where threat has just started there, near threatened. Then there is a category called, you all know that, vulnerable. That here 50% decline in population in 10 years, or 10 years if you take, or 3 generations of that species. Then you know endangered. Here 70% decline in population either in 10 years they estimate, or 3 generations of the species. Then you are aware critically endangered. Many times in current affairs will come critically endangered. Here more than 90%, 90% decline in last 10 years or 3 generations. Right? Then comes here, this I'm just writing all the names of the category here. Then comes here extinct in wild. That means in the natural habitat they have lost or extinct in natural habitat. That means still few members are surviving in captive breeding centers, zoological park or botanical garden, ex situ centers. But from the natural habitats, forest, grassland, river, whatever, they have become extinct. That is called extinct in wild. And then finally the last member, nowhere found, extinct, finally gone. Right? Apart from that, IUCN also has 2 more categories. That is not based on the threat or something, but that is kept in terms of data point of view. There is something called data deficient, where not sufficient data is there, and not evaluated, where evaluation has not been carried out. That means in future when risks will be evaluated, then they may go into any of the higher categories. These are 9 categories: not evaluated, data deficient, extinct, extinct in wild, critically endangered, endangered, vulnerable, near threatened, least concerned. Now out of this, these 3, they are called threatened categories. Whatever UPSC asks question, they'll ask you based on this: critically endangered, endangered, or vulnerable category. 90%, 70% and 50% loss. Whereas if we take this one, near threatened, vulnerable, endangered, critically endangered, extinct in wild, right, 5 of them. These are called conservation categories. They are called conservation categories. They are used for conservation. Conservation categories means which governments or any organization will select species for conservation. So that is the extinct in wild, highest conservation required, then critically endangered, endangered, vulnerable, and then near threatened, where threat has started. Right? But when you say threatened categories, that refers to 3 of them: critically endangered, endangered, vulnerable. Now this IUCN data book, this basically, this looks into what is based on risks to extinction, low risk to higher risk. Based on risks to extinction, they are brought into such categories by the IUCN species specialist. They bring into that, right? See, UPSC is again not going to ask you category. Names of the categories shall be back of the mind. Question will be based on current affairs, those species which are in the news, important species in news. I'll help you out. I'll help you out how to manage that. How do you manage such information? The problem is that there's so much of information. There's so much of information. Managing such information is very challenging task. So whenever you come with species, here first is the IUCN categories. Second comes Schedule 1, Schedule 2 of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972, where hunting, poaching not allowed by the government of India. Third comes CITES, CITES, Convention on International Trade of Endangered Species, Appendix 1, where trade is not allowed. Right? Appendix 2, where trade is controlled. Next comes CMS, Convention on Migratory Species, where migratory species, there may be certain species here may be migratory in the IUCN data book or WPA. They may come into global list of migratory species in Appendix 1, where highest protection given to those species there. So all these you have to be aware. Habitat, where they are found, what type of threats are there. So lot of information comes into there. Right, lot of information. You have to build upon that. I'll help you out. Don't worry. I will help you out. But I'm just giving idea. I will definitely help you out. But I'm providing the idea how it goes into that. Right? How it goes into that. But I'll provide you the idea on that. Okay. Anything you have to ask up to now? Then I'll go to the species which are required to be known or remember for coming exam. This part is clear?
Sir, critically endangered to 90% decline here.
Decline. DECLINE.
So like that is 90% you have written or
90%. 90%. 90. Endangered 70% and comes into that. See, all current affairs materials, all magazines, you'll come across that compilation. I'll be going to certain species name. Shall I move on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's look at, I'll go through it one by one. First one, you can write it somewhere. UPSC is continuously asking from WWF India, Worldwide Fund for Nature India. So when you do the Google search, WWF India, and then you give a space, threatened species. You will get the first link. Threatened species, WWF. UPSC asked a question on elephant. That was a matriarchal society, gestation period of 18 to 22 months. These all were from WWF website. Great Indian Bustard, GIB, a tall flying bird, heavy flying bird in Rajasthan, Desert National Park. Again, same site. Gangetic dolphin, the dolphin found in River Ganga, again from here. So you will find regularly UPSC has asked question on the species found in this particular link. If you go to the site here, you have here threatened species. I'll first mark it here. Look at here. Common leopard, right? Common leopard. Then Great Indian Bustard, GIB, Himalayan quail, house sparrow. Now you know house sparrow. Why it was in news, house sparrow? Anyone? अभी क्या हुआ था? Just recent क्या हुआ था? World Sparrow Day. What is the date of World Sparrow Day? 20th March. 20th March, World Sparrow Day. है ना? Sparrow declining in number. Then Sarus crane. Then this one, otter. Where in the paper otter came in the news? Smooth. Some otter was in news. Yes, Jammu and Kashmir. Yes, Chenab. Chenab River, Jammu and Kashmir, Eurasian otter, Eurasia. But we have another otter called smooth coated otter. Nilgiri Tahar, Nilgiri, Tamil Nadu. Gharial, Asiatic lion, Gir forest, Gangetic river dolphin. Then black net crane, Ladakh, golden mahseer. Even mahseer has been asked in the exam. Pangolin, Indian pangolin, Chinese pangolin. Brow antlered deer. Brow antlered deer. Sangai deer. Dancing deer. Manipur, Loktak Lake. अब आप देखो क्वेश्चन कहाँ कहाँ आया है. UPSC has asked question on this. I'm just taking there. Great Indian Bustard, GIB. Desert National Park, two district, that is Barmer and Jaisalmer, and the part of threatened species there. So that was asked in the exam 2 years back. Then UPSC has asked question on this. Gangetic dolphin. You know that Gangetic dolphin has been declared as a national aquatic animal. National aquatic animal. You all are aware of that. Even the question was threats on Gangetic dolphin in the prelims exam. Now if you see here, mahseer, you will find reference. Mahseer is a fish found in Kaveri river. Only once that name has come. Then comes this one. If you go back to previous question paper, you will find the name of this bird, black net crane, that is in Ladakh. A state animal of, state bird of Jammu and Kashmir. Now you have Jammu and Kashmir Union Territory, Ladakh is separate. So earlier it was a state bird. Indian pangolin was also once asked that Indian pangolin part of, but not complete name there. So if you look at here, out of this entire one, घड़ियाल has sometime come in the news. लाइन में एक क्वेश्चन आया हुआ है, दो क्वेश्चन आया हुआ है. One question was that second home of lion, the Kuno National Park, from Giri to Kuno. That was once asked in the question. And UPSC asked another question where given statement type question. Double humped camel found only in India. Asiatic lion found only in India. That type of statement. Asiatic lion is now only found in India. That is correct. Gir forest in Gujarat. So only 2 times the question is there, but there could be more question asked. So if I take important here, this one, Himalayan quail, Nainital, Uttarakhand, very rare bird, that can be asked. Then smooth coated otter. Now recently Eurasian otter, that can be possibility. Nilgiri Tahar, Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, that is part of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Kerala. There is a place called Munnar. Munnar is a goat bred, bakra, mountainous goat. Tahar is a state animal of Tamil Nadu. This can be a probable area of question. Then again this one, Indian pangolin, Chinese pangolin. Although once it has been asked, but again there could be a question. Then brow-hunter deer. You all know brow-hunter deer, Sangai deer, Kibul Lamjau National Park. That part comes. So here I have given house sparrow can also be a question, right? UPSC can ask about house sparrow also there. I am marking there. Please write it down, all these names. I'll tell you how to go about, but these are again very important. Problem is that there are a lot of information is there, and it's very difficult to remember them. But I am giving a way out how to go ahead with that. What I've circled, these are important areas where question can be asked. Now I'll tell you, house sparrow is a state bird of Delhi. If you have copied, I'll just remove it. It will disappear from here. Look at here. House sparrow. There was a documentary movie. It also went to the Oscar, but was not selected. But Elephant Whisperers got the Oscar award. So here, documentary. This one, Goraiya. Another was Sparrow Returns, right? Sparrow Returns. House sparrow is a mini documentary. Sparrow Returns there. So it was in the news, right? So maybe house sparrow can be asked. Now if I go back here, suppose that house sparrow. Now when you go to the link, here is given common name, scientific name, Passer domesticus. Scientific name is given, Passer domesticus. Population unknown, height 16 centimeter, length, weight. Now see here, I will highlight the important point here. Least concerned. Under IUCN, least concerned, but not very significant threat. Maybe Delhi or urban areas number declined, but sparrows worldwide, global level, still their numbers are there, right? Now if you look at what is given here, biological part. Now this part is biology. biological aspect. Characteristics. Now if you look at here, this one, what is given here? Most commonly found bird in there. Now not only among this one, also the most loved, small brown colored birds, not bigger than tennis ball, right? Male female are distinguished. They have something that chirping and chattering. You know, people used to have earlier corner of the house, sparrow used to come and build the nest. Sometimes people at home, they have a artificial nest for nesting of sparrow. This is what is given here. Now what is given here? Habitat. If you look at habitat, this part, this box, but you see the box here, here it mentions the habitat. See, widespread in the world, right? Every continent except Antarctica, China and Japan and Antarctica, it is not found. Where you will not find house sparrow? Antarctica, South Pole, China and Japan. But all other places you will come across. Eurasia, Europe and Asia, North Africa, South Africa, North and South America, Australia, New Zealand, Middle East, India, Central Asia, they all found there. So this box give you distribution of house sparrow. IUCN category is a list concerned. Now conservation issue. Now what is given here? See here. They know buildings and gardens and all. The new and modern design. See here. New and modern designs of house, infrastructure. That's one of the threat. Doesn't allow this. Do not allow gorilla or sparrow to build nest. The houses which are there. Then another one, pollution. Pollution caused by microwave towers, mobile towers, radiation from mobile towers, pesticides, biomagnification, chemical pesticides. Now the design where we don't get proper corners or placed for sparrows to come and nest. Again a threat. Again what do you find here? The house sparrow loses the natural grassland, foraging ground. When we convert natural grassland into some other form of development, so habitat loss will be there. That is given here. That is what is given. So when you go to WWF, it gives you that category, biological aspect, conservation issues and all this part, habitat and distribution, right? This way UPSC can ask question there, right? Then I have said Nilgiri Tar. I am just giving you idea how to manage such information. Now if you look at Nilgiri Tar, mountain goat. What do you see the photograph? There is something in Western Ghats, right? It's called Shola, 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 Shola forest. Shola forest. There is a grassland in the mountain area, right? What do you see this animal? Nilgiri is a state animal of Tamil Nadu. Nilgiri also formed the part. See what is given the pride of Western Ghats. It has come in the Hindu paper and all, but UPSC has not asked question on that. Maybe possible coming exam, UPSC can ask question on Nilgiri Tar, right? So here Nilgiri Tar you can see, ungulate, only mountain ungulate in southern India, state animal Tamil Nadu, right? 3122, only the numbers you have. Is an endangered category. You find in Western Ghats is endangered. And what is threat here? Habitat loss due to deforestation, competition from domestic livestock, hydroelectric power, Nilgiri habitat, hunting for meat and skin. Threat also given. Sometimes in the question, threats are asked, right? Then if I go back, You know this one, pangolin, Indian pangolin and Chinese pangolin. They are most illegal traded animal. They are killed for their scales. If you see Indian pangolin, Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act, hunting is not allowed. Endangered. What is endangered? 70% loss last 10 years. And you can see here, there are 8 types of pangolins worldwide, Chinese and Indian. Now you can see 11-13 rows of scales. You see here the scales are there. The scales. They are used in Chinese medicines. For that they are killed. And you can see here, habitat tropical rain forest, open land, grassland, all they eat ant eater, cheetah. They eat ants. Then again you will find hunting, poaching, medicinal use in Southeast Asia, China. That's given here. Then if we go to this one, I am going to here another one which is very, very important, otter. Eurasian otter, which is found in Jammu and Kashmir Himalayan range, but we also have in the other parts of the country smooth coated otter. Is a mammal, freshwater. What you see right now, the image here. And if you see here, it is vulnerable. IUCN vulnerable. That means 50% decline in the population. And you can see here, they are very smooth. They have a characteristic very smooth, sleek pelage, eyes and ears are small. They eat fish eating mammal. So near freshwater wetlands, they are found. And it's given you a place. Breeding grounds are in Corbett National Park in Uttarakhand, then Dudhwa Tiger Reserve in UP, Katrania Ghat UP, Kaziranga National Park in Assam, right? Then you can see Sundarban, West Bengal, Bhitarkanika, Odisha, Koringa, Andhra Pradesh. The habitat Periyar Tiger Reserve, Kerala, Nagarhole, Karnataka. There you find smooth coated otter. Even the UPSC can ask the habitat, name of the place, right? So their habitat loss is the major threat to this animal when numbers have declined. So there you find here this one. So what do you have to do? This one, all the species which is given. Now it's a snow leopard. You know snow leopard. Again that has come in the news. Himalayan range, Central Asia, Tibet, all these are there. Snow leopards are they in a high altitude area. There they found there, right? And 55% of snow leopards are poached every year. The numbers have declined there. So they come into endangered species there. Impact of climate change, illegal trade, disease of snow leopards. Sometimes disease also comes. So again you will see here the given here about snow leopard. When you go to about snow leopard, so here you will find here vulnerable. Now it is listed as vulnerable. See here status vulnerable on the IUCN data book. Then Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act, hunting, poaching not allowed. So this type of information, which I am just trying to make you aware, there you have to go through that, right? There about habitat distribution and all this. See, I will request you just take the current affair materials of the institute. There in the current affairs, every month and the last 1 year, you will have all the names. It will have discussion over that. I have given an idea about what is red data book, but again, whatever comes in newspaper, that comes in current affairs materials. You read from there. The problem only is the remembering the facts, which you have to memorize. Remember it again and again. Right? So I have just given a way out how to go about it. Compilation is already with you. The institute has given you all the magazines, current affairs. There you can follow that. Right? You have any question to ask up till here? I'll just so today what we have done, we have gone into these topics here. That what is biodiversity, 3 types of biodiversity, values of biodiversity, threats, conservation, in situ, ex situ, and then related to book. This part we have done. Right? So my question is that, anything you want to ask? But please make sure current affairs materials about the species, whichever species given, GIB or tiger, elephant, rhino, whatever comes, right? You have to go through that. I don't have the copies of the magazine or material of the institute. Otherwise, I would have told you the page numbers. But whatever you have to go through it. Yes. Somebody was asking.
So what are the examples of ex situ conservation you just said?
National parks, sanctuaries, biosphere reserve, all these are in situ. I've written there. This I've written here. Within the habitat where we conserve it. This one. We'll discuss that, don't worry. We are going to discuss this concepts in the next session. We will cover that. But today I have given you the theoretical part. The idea I have given there. Right? I am going to cover what is national park, sanctuary, how they differ, what is biosphere reserve, 18 biosphere reserve of India. We will be going through that. But today I gave you the basic understanding. Alright? Anything you want to ask?
Sir, is golden mosquito was in news previous year?
Yeah, it was in the news.
Why, sir?
Because their numbers have declined because of fishing, overfishing. They sold in the market. At the same time, pollution in the river also. They will find them in Kaveri river, Karnataka.
It is on Brahmaputra also, no?
Brahmaputra also, yes. Mahsir. Why it is called Mahsir? Mahashir. They are like tiger fish. They call tiger. Mahi. Tiger. Sher, you know. Sher means tiger. That's what the name has come. Overfishing, what is that? Overfishing and all. So that comes to that. So that's what I always keep on saying. Please look at the previous year question papers. Go to the prelims objective type question. You'll find those names will be there. And again, whatever comes in news, current aspect, at least one question will be based on that. Right, UPSC can ask question on that.
Sir, I have one more question. Sir, in 6 or 5 months ago in Hindi newspaper, there was a news on golden bustard, Indian bustard that they generally laid 1 egg, but recently they are laying 2 eggs. Is this important for us?
Yes, and also there, remember that great Indian bustard is called Godawan. Government of India started a project called Project Godawan for breeding of GIB.
Yes, sir.
Not only Rajasthan, they are also found in Kutch, in Gujarat also. In Gujarat also they are found, and it is critically endangered. It comes under IUCN critically endangered. So whatever comes there in the news, you have to be reading that, all the key points. And we don't know what way UPSC can ask question, but you are prepared to answer. If anything is asked on those facts, those factual information, you are prepared to answer in that context.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Right? Yeah, thank you. So
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Sir,
as I just said that in creation of mammoth, the genes of Indian elephants are used. So why is it not so that the genes of African elephant is used? Is there any particular reason for that?
No, I have said that elephants, Asiatic elephants, why they have taken, in project woolly mammoth, they want to just modify that elephant with the genes of mammoth and create a kind of modified mammoth, and they want to test the global warming impact. Actually, the main objective of the project is that because mammoth used to be found in ice age, so the modified elephant which give birth to the mammoth, they are going to study climate change impact. They could do even African elephant also. They are first using Asiatic elephant. Maybe future they may do for African elephant also.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Most welcome. See, whatever website I have opened, and every session I am opening a website. Please make note of that and just read it just by yourself. Try to go through it. Right, you will get more better understanding. I've given so many information through sites and all this one. That approach you have to build, right? So if there is no doubt, then I will stop the session and we'll meet in the next one. Next one will also be very important. We'll continue with the biodiversity part and we'll learn a lot of new things. Shall we end the class?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, I have a question. It is not from this topic actually. What is the relation between oxygen concentration and size of an living organism?
Which one?
Relation between oxygen concentration and the size of an living organism.
Piles. What do you say?
Size.
Size. See, this is the again. See, oxygen concentration. See, where you require oxygen? Oxygen you require for respiration. Any living organism use oxygen to break down glucose, through which the energy is obtained. Right. Higher the oxygen, more respiration will be there, which will give them the more energy and all those things, and then it will help in the build up there. Normally you see that whether oxygen dissolved form in water or oxygen present in air, right, they are required there, right. Size, if you take size of animals and oxygen, there are a lot of scientific studies have been done, right, but that again I don't think very important from UPSC point of view, that how the gases matters. But again, both aquatic animals and terrestrial animals, oxygen is what gives energy. Without oxygen, no organism will survive. So let's see here, oxygen concentration. Even for bacteria also, bacteria and microorganisms in soil, they also require oxygen. Otherwise, they will not be able to break down or survive, right? And size. What you are asking, that size of organism. So more, I believe that more what you have oxygen concentration, thus they will have more energy and they will be growing fast. They will be growing very, very fast. See here, for insect, size oxygen interaction, having large animals will tend to shift to the size distribution. Now how has oxygen affect size of organism? Higher oxygen level means organism can grow. This is what I said. Oxygen is a life, glucose, energy. They will multiply very fast, they will grow very fast. Size will be higher.
Yes, sir. So actually, I was watching a documentary when they were saying that in Arctic Ocean, the oxygen concentration is higher. So
Higher.
there is a term called polar gigantism. That
Yeah, that's what
animals.
that's why the animal size will be bigger than that side. That size determined there. You're right.
Yes, sir. That was the research, and there is searching for the new species there. Actually, very larger than usual, like 15 meters.
Right. You're right. Any other doubt? So we can end the class there. So we'll stop the class here and we'll meet in the next session. So thank you everyone. We'll meet in the next session. All right. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.